What's up, guys? It's Christian Retro Lover 4, and last night I just watched two movies. So the first was Saturday Night, which is about what takes place an hour and a half before the premiere of the first Saturday Night Live episode. And of course, it was a chaotic mess, and there was a lot of pressure because nobody knew what SNL was really going to be about, and they were bringing in all these unknown actors or unknown musicians or just like small time people, and they were going to debut it on this big uh, network event. So of course there were a lot of pressure behind the scenes, and like we can argue about the historical inaccuracy or like when, who knows, maybe when Belushi ran out or George Carlin ran out for a little bit, and they had to bring them back and sign their contracts, stuff like that. But like as its own movie, I thought it was pretty hilarious in in a really good flick that just showed off all the names of the people, like Carlin and Belushi and uh, O'Donoghue, um, just all these amazing people who were able to create one of the most revolutionary uh, TV shows of all time that's still going strong 50 years later. Um, there were a couple of distracting moments, like I don't think like the person who did Henson did like one-on-one, but like I said, we can argue about the historical and inaccuracy all we want. But like I said, on its own, it's a very good movie, and I think it really captures like the '70s vibe. And not only that, but it's very anxiety-inducing and claustrophobic due to the editing style as well as like the camera work. You know how it mostly doesn't just stay in one place; it instead just zooms all over the place as we go from character to character and meeting all these new people. Um, Overall, I give this a 7 out of 10, maybe even an 8 out of 10. It's a really good movie, and I really check it out. I really recommend checking it out for people who are interested in SNL, NBC, or like historical drama movies. So anyway, check it out. The next movie is Midnight Cowboy. Um, and I thought this was a pretty decent movie. I think it really highlights all the themes of like I guess like drug problems and like uh, prostitution problems that were going on within like the early 60s, I mean, no, late 60s, early 70s, within places like, of course, New York. And I think this movie is especially memorable due to Dustin Hoffman and I forget the actor's name, but he's Angelina Jolie's father, and he's the cowboy character. I forget who Joe Buck, something like that. Um, the camera work was very experimental, and it was just a overall really interesting movie to watch, despite it being kind of dated sometimes, with its treatment of homosexual people. But like other than that, it was a very good movie, and I recommend checking it out to people who are fans of like Dustin Hoffman and like people who really enjoy old school experimental type movies. And I give the movie around a 6 to 7 out of 10. So also check that out. Um, Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more reviews, more gameplay, uh, more skits, things like that. Uh, and catch me on the flip side. And peace be with y'all. Later.